All right, let's bring out my good friend here, who's going to be leading the training here on Facebook strategies. This young gentleman I met just a short time ago, actually, not too long ago at all. And he's been in the industry. He's a young guy, but he's been in the industry now for quite a few years. I think four or 5 years now. And he like myself and like so many other people, you know, he was doing the old school prospecting techniques, which were actually working for him to a little bit of an extent, but not getting a lot of results with it. And he discovered the internet when he joined my team just a little while ago, and it was less than a year ago, I think about 8 months ago or something like that. And in this time, he very quickly started applying the internet marketing strategies that we teach, and using these strategies. Within a couple of months, he had his first 5-figure month, which is absolutely incredible in this industry. And now he's gone on, you know, to have consistent months, consistent profits, and he's really become a student of the internet marketing game. And this is what I've been really impressed with this guy, because he is a consummate student. He's always learning. He's always buying new courses and buying new ebooks and improving his knowledge. And he honestly knows a lot more than I do in certain marketing strategies. And he's been very successful in several marketing strategies. And I've actually had him teach my own personal teams, because he does such a great job with the marketing. So without further ado, I want to bring out my friend and our guest host for today, Mr. Jim Chao. Jim, are you on the line here with me? Hello, Jim. Are you there?
Hey, Norbert, I am here. I got muted.
Awesome. Okay, I can hear you loud and clear. Maybe at some point during this day we're going to get over some of these technical difficulties. And get on with this training. Unbelievable. All right, Jim, how you doing today, my friend?
I am doing great. In the 90s here in California, nice and sunny.
Awesome. Yeah, we're having great weather here too. I'm in the Okanagan Valley here in BC, Canada, on the West Coast, and it's beautiful, beautiful weather. We're finally getting a little bit of rain here today. All right. So, without further ado, what I'm going to do is, why don't I make you presenter? Jim, where are you in the list? Here you are. I'm going to make you presenter so that you can lead everybody through some of these strategies that we're going to be talking about. And what we're going to be dealing with today is we're going to be talking about Facebook, which personally I think is one of the most powerful free marketing strategies out there on the internet. When people ask me this all the time, you know, you're new, you're getting started. The question I get all the time is, all right, what do you recommend I get started with? There's so much information. There's so many different marketing strategies. There's so much training out there. What do you recommend I get started with to really start getting the best results? And, you know, if you've got money, then you want to dive into pay-per-click, for sure, without a doubt. And even if you do have money, I still always recommend, and I would say Facebook, video marketing, and if you've got the energy and the time and the focus, jump into Twitter. And those are basically the strategies that I tell my students to focus on, because really you're going to get the best results, and you can tap into just huge, huge markets. And Jim is a perfect example of being able to do that. So Jim, we've got a packed call here planned for today, lots of content, lots of information. So let's start out really simply by talking to people about setting up their profile. Okay, let's start with the basics here. Let's talk about setting up the profile. So why don't we talk about some of the important things when you're going about setting up your profile?
All right, let's do it. This is crazy. Well, first of all, this is network marketing, and it doesn't matter how much technology that you put into it. You cannot ignore the basics, which is networking and bonding with people. And simply put, Facebook is one of the best mediums out there to connect with other people, other network marketers, other business owners, other entrepreneurs. So this is really, really awesome. And one thing about Facebook, I just want to quickly point out before we dive into things, especially with a lot of new people, with volume is very important, because a lot of people add a lot of friends a day, but if you come down to it, it's not about how many friends that you're adding. It's really about how many friends that you're connecting with. So let's dive straight into the profile. Well, there's a few key elements in order to really start bonding with people, so that way they can look over your profile and get to know exactly who you are. And the first thing that they see is your profile picture. So make sure just to have something professional, something looks good, just a good picture, not something like maybe lying on a couch or something. That's not the first impression that out there. And secondly, under info section, on your profile, this is the part where they get to kind of know you a little bit. You can put in some information, your hobbies, your favorite books, and just a little bit about me section. And your little about me script right here, want to quickly put it is that don't make it too long. This is not a sales page. Just put a few sentences and something about you and send them to somewhere else to learn more about you. And if you look at my page right here, in this case, I send them straight to my blog. And I also put my contact information, so if they want to contact me, then they're welcome to.
Okay, so a couple of important things. Let me just jump in here real quick here, Jim. One of the things you have to remember when you're using social networking sites like Facebook, and it doesn't matter if it's Facebook, Better Networker, MySpace, it really doesn't matter. The main concept here is that these are networking platforms. It's sort of like going to a party, okay, and out there to meet new people, okay, and you want to socialize, and you just want to be likable and approachable, okay. The last thing you want to do is, go into big dissertations about who you are and what you do, or go into some sales pitches about products or services or what you can do for people, or especially any type of thing with making money. So you want to be really careful about how you structure the information that you put on here. It should be really personable. It should be likable. It could tell a story. But if you'll notice, Jim, just scroll down to the About Me section. I think the About Me section is really important. But you'll notice that he's just got a few lines there. Okay, it's not too long. It's right to the point. And the big thing is that he's then sending them to his blog or to another website where they can then learn more about him. So you're using this as a funnel to get people to go to your other websites, okay? So that's really important, that you make sure that you understand that this is a place to network and make connections, not necessarily to throw out sales pitches. There's a time and a place for that, and this is not it, okay? Just remember that.
Absolutely. Just like if you were to go to a party, you don't carry a billboard about commercials into the party. It just doesn't make any sense. So same comparison.
Yeah. Scroll
There's
down
a saying,
little bit past the contact information.
Oops, I clicked on a. Do you want me to go back?
Yeah, go back for 1 second, because there's a section there to put in your websites. When you're setting up your profile, you've got a section there to enter in your websites, and those websites will come right up there under contact information, okay? And it's really important that you have that, so you can have, a link to your capture page. If you've got a Twitter account, it's great to link to your Twitter account. If you're doing a lot of stuff in YouTube, you could definitely link to your YouTube, and also a blog if you have a blog, okay? So use this space to show people the diversity of websites that that you've got, okay? A great place to do that. Okay, let's scroll up and let's go into the photo section that you were going to go to.
All right. Well, the next big element is there's a saying, a picture is worth 1,000 words. And this is where you kind of showcase your lifestyle, what you are into. And good pictures to put are maybe like family pictures and places that you've been to, traveling, and just fun stuff, because people don't really care about your business. They care about what you do, and they want to be able to connect with somebody who's able to help them. And sometimes not necessarily all business, but if they can connect with you outside business life, then it makes your networking a lot easier, more common grounds to connect with.
Yeah, and especially if you have certain hobbies, you know, maybe some sports that you're into or certain things like that, definitely get those things up there because that's another way where people can connect with you. You know, if there's similarities. Oh, this guy's into snowboarding as well. That's wicked. You know, whenever I see somebody that contacts me and I see that they're into snowboarding, just all of a sudden I have some sort of an affiliation with them because it's something that I'm really passionate about, okay? So put your hobbies out there. You know, if you've got photos of yourself in different sports or different locations, you know, maybe you went to Italy or something like that. Those are great ways to make connections, okay? So think about that when you're choosing the photos for your profiles that people are going to be looking at. Another great thing is you'll notice Jim has a lot of photos with some different marketers and different people at conferences and things like that. It's a great idea to go to conferences and go to live events. You know, do not get stuck in the internet rut and sit in your basement and try to build this business online. We definitely encourage that you go to as many live events as you possibly can. It's a great place to network and also get photos with people like Mike Dillard and David Schwind and you know, other leaders out there in the industry like Jimmy Davis and Dennis Carganillo. Okay, you'll notice that Jim's got pictures with all those guys. Okay, so again, just kind of shows your credibility, shows that you're in the game and that you're actually, you know, going to these conferences and learning from the top marketers out there.
Cool. So moving on to the last element here. It's this little text box right below your profile. And what I do is basically a not even a sentence, just a few words talking about who you are. And I like to put a call to action to, in this case, I link them to my blog. And for you to put it in, there should be a little box right here. If you click on a pencil, that pencil icon, then you can edit the text right on your profile. There's a couple of strategies here. I personally like to link it to your blog. Now, if you're on Facebook, you want to do lead generation, then on your blog, then you want to also make it clear how to work with you, how to join your team and work together. Also, if not, then you can also put a capture page, a landing page with just make sure it's something unique and something that connects to you, not some generic with someone else's video on it.
Yeah, definitely. This is not a place to put a replicated website that has nothing to do with you or some company website. This is a place to put up a website. Like a blog is the best thing to do, but if you don't have it, then get one of our capture pages and make sure to put your video on it so that, again, it's your connection. You got to stay personal here, remember, because your social networking, it's all about you at this point. So you got to make sure that it's your website. And just to really kind of highlight this little box, I really believe that this box is very important in your profile because it's one of the first things that people see. If you notice where your eye goes to on this page, you know, you'll hit the photo, you might hit the center a little bit, but this little box gets quite a bit of attention. So maybe this is a good time to actually talk about one of the most important things when you're thinking about creating your profile in Facebook. And really, this is something that you should spend a little bit of time in when you're thinking about your business, when you're creating your branded business with MLSP and with this whole marketing, this whole attraction marketing concept that we teach here. You want to really think about your unique selling proposition, your USP. Okay, in business, you'll hear that all the time. People talk about the unique selling proposition. You really need to think about that for yourself as well. And the question that you should ask yourself, and every one of you on this line right now should spend some time and really think about this question. The question you should ask yourself is, why would somebody join me in my business? Okay? Why would somebody join me in my business? Why would somebody care? All right? Why would somebody pay you money to join you and join your team in your business? The answer to that question is absolutely critical to your success. Because if right now you're thinking about that question, and if you do not have an answer to that question, that's probably half of your problem right there. All right? Because that is a basic question that you need to know, you need to have a very clear answer for. You'll notice here that Jim has picked out a very specific skill set. marketing prodigy, Google AdWords specialist, stay connected at jimchao.net. So what does that tell you about him? Okay, it tells you that he's a marketing prodigy. He understands marketing. Okay, he's tooting his own horn there a little bit. And then he goes on to say that he's a Google AdWords specialist. So something really specific. Okay, and I think that's one of the best things that you can do. So you got to find out some of your strengths. Think back to when we did this exercise with our personal team. We really got some great information from some of our teammates. And some of the things they came up with were absolutely fantastic, and they were going back into some of the skill sets that they had developed in corporate America or in their own businesses, and that's what you got to tap into. What are your strengths? What are your skill sets? Why would somebody do business with you? What value do you have to offer? Okay, and it can be almost anything. There were some diverse backgrounds. And they were able to find skills that they were able to then put into their unique selling proposition. Okay, so it doesn't have to be. You don't have to be a Google AdWords specialist. You know, you could be a social marketing specialist, or you could be a business development specialist, or a motivational specialist. I don't know. You have to decide that for yourself. You really have to decide your own unique selling proposition, and that once you've got that in place, that's going to define your Facebook profile. It's going to define your capture pages and the videos that you create, and your Twitter profile and the blog that you create, okay? Because you're going to have this unique selling proposition, this brand, really. You're really creating this brand around you and your unique selling proposition. Okay, I'm going to stop right there, but I think it's really important to touch on that because that's going to affect everything that you do with your profile. I hope that makes sense to you guys.
And for that brand, it's also really good to go specific because you see a lot of profiles out there that's saying they're business coach, but how many profiles do you see that people call themselves business coach? So one thing to go specific is also really the key to make people remember you, because if they don't remember you, then the marketing, the attraction is not going to be there.
Absolutely. So you got to spend some time on that. I think it's really, really important.
All right. So Norbert, you wanted ready to get into action steps? I think this is where the fun is.
One more thing is that information box right underneath the other box. You see there? I think what's important is that you get your websites in there as well. Okay. And do you want to show people that? Because I know some people sometimes get confused as to how to get the websites on. Can you click on the pencil? And you'll notice the check marks there. Make sure that website is checked. You see that? And that'll show your website. Okay, so it's really important that you check website and make sure your website, because those are clickable. Those are actually live hyperlinks, and people can click on those websites and go to those sites. Okay, so
this website reflects on what you put under info. The website that you put here. If you check the check mark, this box right here, then it's going to display the websites under your info.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. I think that's the last thing I wanted to talk about with profiles. So let's get into the action steps here.
All right, let's live up to it. This is where the hype is. There's two key things I want to cover here. The first one is friend adding. The most common way that I see network marketer add friends is they join different company groups and they just massively add friends, which is great, but you're still going to need a way to connect with them. One of the strategies I found that's basically no competition, and for example, I'm just going to type in the secret right here. And this can be anything, so don't all like 1,000 over people go over to this group and do the same thing, because that's not the way to do it. But you see right here on fourth group, I believe in law of attraction. So these are people who have seen the movie The Secret, and they believe in law of attraction. And majority of these people are not, they may or may not be involved in network marketing. And but they believe in law of attraction, and most of them would want success. You will also find a lot of network marketers in this group, so I'm just going to join here. And let's see. And then photos, members. All right, 55,000 members. There is no way to get saturated in this group, not anytime soon. So I'm just going to open a new tab here. Exactly, just one group. And how many different products and different, like Tony Robbins and a whole bunch of motivational people, how many is endless, the amount of prospects you can reach. It's just crazy. I prepared a couple scripts here, actually, just one sentencer. So basically, I usually, when I add friends, I take that one extra step to actually put a message in front of them so that, because remember, like I said earlier, it's not about how many friends that you're adding, because once you reach the 5,000 friend mark, then you're basically capped out. So you want to take advantage of every single relationship that you can build on. And basically, I just type in one sentence, and I'm just going to add this guy right here from South Africa. And I'll just paste it. I say, hey, first name. I see that you're into law of attraction, so am I. Let's connect. And go through like 30, 50 friends a day if you have time. And just do that consistently in different categories. I'm doing the secret. Tomorrow I can be doing something else. And by adding that one little sentence in there, you'll be surprised how much more responsive that these people, they'll message you back. And that's your opportunity right there to connect with them. Because we're all in network marketing, and it's all about networking. And this is the way 3 to 5 times more response rate than if you were just go down the list and just add friends. If you don't have a message in there, sometimes I found that people would message back like, hey, I don't know you. So it's not the best way to get connected. But by adding that little one sentence in there, it makes the whole experience so much easier. Let's go down.
And this is really a simple task, guys, and this is why I say, this is one of the strategies, one of the top strategies we recommend, because it's easy, guys. Any one of you can do this. You create a nice profile, you spend some time to define your unique selling proposition, and then you just go out and network, okay? And any one of you guys can do this. You just need to be consistent. This is the key here. If you do this, you do this one day and you add 50 friends, and then maybe next week you hop on and you add another 20, and then you come back the week after and you add another 50, and you come back to us and you say, hey, this Facebook thing doesn't work. I'm not making any sales. Well, that's your first problem. The big secret to any of these strategies is consistency. You need to have a plan for it, and this is something that you should be doing on a daily basis. But again, I mean, how long does it take you to add, what do you recommend? 50 friends takes you about 30 to 60 minutes?
20 to 30. Just copy and
20
paste.
to 30 friends even? Yeah?
Yeah, I mean, 50 friends would take about 20 to 30 minutes. That's about how long it should take.
Yeah, so it's pretty quick. Any of you guys can find 30 minutes a day to do this, and you'll be amazed how your network's going to grow. All right.
Well, basically, funnel here is that when you add someone as a friend and you put in that little message, that gives them, basically you want to stand out from the noise. There's so much marketing noise out there. There's so much spammers. People just add friends and send people to a replicated site, capture page, and get information. People have seen it already. You basically just want to stand out, and by doing that little step, you set yourself apart from about 90% already. And with a few more techniques and a few more steps that I'm about to show you, you'll be 1 in a million in your prospect's eyes. And that's the key right there. You send them back to your profile, and they learn more about you. And in this case, I send them to my blog. And in my blog, I demonstrate the knowledge that I know. Or sometimes that you can actually, some of the videos I have on my blog, they're not even from myself. I just found on YouTube, and I embed them. For example, one other video here, this one's actually a random video from YouTube. Someone has posted, and I reposted on my blog. And by doing things like that, you create that attraction, and your prospects would basically, they have no choice but to really find out more about you. They would Google you, they would go to your capture pages and find out exactly what you're doing because they're interested. Not sure if that makes sense there, but that's really the key to generate attraction in social media.
No, it is. It's all about, we talk about this all the time, right? We talk about providing value, and that's the biggest thing. That is the foundation of your business, is you need to learn how to provide value. So first of all, you need to become more valuable. But second of all, whenever you come across something valuable on the internet, that's your opportunity to share that in one way or another. And you can share, and this is a great thing. Once you have all these connections on Facebook or Twitter or on your blog or whatever, that's where you start sharing the value, okay? So making the connection is the first step in a process of developing a relationship. And this is, see, everyone wants a shortcut. Everyone wants a magic bullet, and they think that just by adding friends, you know, let's say 50 friends a day on Facebook for 30 days, just by adding friends, all of a sudden you're going to make sales. Adding friends is just the beginning step. You still have to, like Jim said right at the beginning, it's not about how many friends you have, but it's about the connections that you make. And anybody that's been in network marketing, any top producer in network marketing, and especially if they've done it offline, done it old school, they're going to tell you the same thing. It's about relationships. It's about connections. Okay? It's about your posture and the value that you bring to the table. That's what it's always been about, and it's the same thing on the internet. So that's what you got to remember. All right, so that's adding friends. Are we ready to get into the next step, which is, I love this this strategy.
Yeah, let's do it. Some of you may be doing other lead generation techniques already. Personally, I do, part of my strategy is pay-per-click, and majority of my leads here are from pay-per-click. They found an ad that I put out, and they click on it and opt into my capture page. They put in their name information, and we really haven't built a lot of relationship, because it's either that they buy my product on the first site or they don't. And majority of these leads, they're cold leads. And what I love about Facebook is surprisingly how many people has a Facebook profile, regardless if they're in network marketing or not. And you want to take advantage of that. So basically, I just go in my leads, and not all of them is going to have a Facebook profile, but basically just copy their email address, and you go on their Facebook, and you search for them. I found about 20–30% would have a Facebook profile, and when they do, you would turn a cold lead that don't really know you, that only seen your website for a few minutes, to hot prospects, because you'll be able to connect with them. And basically, when they see you on the internet, there's so many fluff out there, they don't know if you're real. But if they see you, basically the key here is that you want your prospects to see you in as many places as you can, because the more they see you, the more real that you become.
Oh, guys, can you say that one more time, Jim? Say that one more time, because this is golden, and every one of you should write this down.
Yeah, basically, there's so many ads, so many noises out there on the internet, and if they just click on an ad and see you, you're not really real to them yet. You're just part of the pitch. But the more time that they see you on Facebook, social networking, and other places, the more real that you become. So, for example, I found one of my lead here that has a Facebook, and this is my other pre-written script that I typed out. Let's copy that, and come on. Basically, right here, just going to say, hey, Barbara, I am excited that you visited my website recently. I invite you to add me as a friend and connect with me on a personal level. Drop me a line on my profile. And what I've found is that majority of them are going to message you and give you an opportunity to get to basically another opportunity for you to bond with your prospect. And this will increase your conversion rate by many folds. And just go through your list. If you do about 20 plus leads, then just another one, see? Same thing, just copy it. This is a good morning routine. Sometimes when the first thing I wake up, get ready, and I just spend about 30 minutes doing this. Or if you can outsource it, that would be even more awesome. Just have someone else to do the dirty work for you.
Yeah, I mean, outsourcing is awesome, and we'll get into more of that stuff a little bit later on. But absolutely, again, very simple technique, okay? Any one of you guys on this line, everyone on this line can do this. And guess what? Nobody is. There's very, very few internet marketers out there today that are doing this strategy, okay? And I hope you're understanding the power of this. You're generating a lead onto your website. One of the things that I learned, and this was really powerful for me as well, on the internet, it's not so much about selling to your prospect as it is about simply reducing their fear of buying and simply building the trust so that their guard is, so that they can let their guard down. Okay? Because remember, most people on the internet have a lot of fear about purchasing. They don't know who you are. They've heard about scams. They don't want to lose their money. Okay? And all they're looking for is a personal connection. That's one of the reasons why we recommend that you pick up the phone and you get on the phone with your leads. Okay? It's a great way to make that personal connection. And this is a very simple way, especially if you're afraid of the telephone, to make personal connections in a very simple way. And you can absolutely increase your conversions in this with this simple strategy. Awesome stuff, Jim.
All right, let's get into the next step.
Wait a second. One thing before we move into that, something that we didn't mention. You know, we're talking about how this basically allows you to build more of a bond with your prospects. So again, our strategy here is to turn a cold prospect into a warm prospect. And we do that through the videos, the personal videos on our sales funnels and our capture pages. Okay, that's part of the process. But by integrating the social networks, it really takes that to the next level. Now, this will also increase your email open rates. Okay, so when your autoresponders are going out, remember there's only a certain percentage of people that are actually opening up and reading those emails. When you make this personal connection now with your prospect, there is a far greater chance that they're now going to open up their email and actually read it. Because remember, yours is not the only list that they've subscribed to. Okay? I guarantee that. They've got a whole bunch of lists that they've subscribed to and a whole bunch of emails just like every one of you guys. So why should they open up your email? Why should they read what you have to say? Why should they even care? All right, you always have to think about that, and you've got to solve that. You've got to make sure that yours is the email that they open, and this is a way to get those email open rates up. And it's also going to increase responsiveness. When you put out a video, when you put out a post or a blog post, and you send that out to your friends, again, there's now another connection there. They know who you are. That bond is deep, and again, they're going to respond to whatever you have to say.
It's a very basic concept.
I just want to make sure that everyone really I just want to make sure everyone really understands the value of this technique.
Right, right. Just like if you were to check your emails, you would open emails from your friends and family before you open from someone that you don't know. And the key
Absolutely.
right here is to become the friend. The more time they see
Exactly.
you, the closer the bond is.
Yep. Perfect.
Cool. Let's see. We got our points covered, eh?
Yeah, those are the main ones on that one. Okay, so let's get into this next strategy. I really like this.
Cool. So the next part right here that I'm about to show you, this is taking it to the next level, and no one is doing this. We talked about becoming the friend. Just by doing what you do so far up to this point, you basically separate yourself from about, I would say, 97% of people out there, if not 99%. But adding this next one is going to take that up to 99.9%. Video is the hottest thing going on. If a picture is worth 1,000 words, how many words is a video worth? Video, you basically become absolutely real to your prospects. And I know Norbert will agree with me on this. Many prospects who have gone through our autoresponder, who have gone through our YouTube channel, and many of them we have never spoke before, but when we pick up the phone in our first conversation, a lot of them will say, hey, we have never spoke, but I feel like I know you. And this is exactly the key element here.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, I made a video. I shot this real quick. This is about 23 seconds. I'm just sitting down, and I'm not going to play a video on a webinar. It's going to slow it down, but go add me as a friend and go check it out. It's a 20-second, basically saying, it's a video I talk about, hey, we just became friends and welcome, and I did a little virtual handshake. And then also I talk about, hey, if there's, I'm into marketing, if there's anything I can do for you, let me know. And just shoot a generic video that doesn't mention any names. And then let me go back to let me open a new tab here. On your profile, if you start adding friends, then, man, where is it when I'm trying to find? Okay, for example, right here, Eduardo, we recently became a friend. So I'm just going to copy his name here. This is called a tagging feature. When you, right after you shoot your video, and this is really easy if your computer or your laptop has a built-in webcam. You can shoot this in 20 seconds and you're done. And there's a feature right here, tag.
You can actually record. You can record right into Facebook, right?
Right. No video editing at all.
Yeah.
20 seconds and your video is up and running on Facebook. And click on this feature right here, tag this video, and then you can enter a name right here. So when I tag this guy, Eduardo, let me just show you. I'm going to go over to his profile. See, if I tag him, my video shows on his profile, and we just became friends. And I have a welcome video that welcomes him to as friendship and mastermind and networking. No one is doing this, so if you do this, you'll be that one in a million. And all this takes extra 20 seconds on your part.
Awesome. I love this. Again, really
so check out my
strategy, guys. Really simple strategy, and it's incredibly powerful. And again, it's just going to deepen that bond with your prospects. Not to mention that your video is going to show up on that prospect's feed, so that any visitors that they have, again, lots of people just like to click on videos, right? So it's another place where you can actually get connections with their network as well.
Exactly. If you do this, this video is going to show on your profile, on your feed, and the person that you left it to. When their friends go on their wall, they will also see your video. So it just creates that viral exposure. And along the same topic, I'm going to show you one more technique, which is, and that goes to every single one of us. Our favorite day of the year is our own birthday. And this is extremely easy. Basically, if you go to your homepage on Facebook, just click on home right there, and you scroll down a little bit. On your right side, this is all the birthdays that people's birthdays. And basically, you can just use the same technique right there, and this is extremely easy if you have webcam built onto your laptop. And just go to their website. I'm just clicking on Mark Weiser here. He did a black belt recruiting with Mike Diller. And this technique works especially well from gurus like Mike Diller, Mark Weiser, and a whole bunch of trainers in the industry. As you can see on his profile, there's like a gazillion birthday wishes. And they are all text-based. I actually left him a birthday message already. But what you can do, just click on here, and there's a video button right there. And you can just leave a quick message on wishing him a happy birthday, and a quick message that you want to give. So I'm just going to record here. All right, live demonstration.
Good job, man. It's a little choppy on the webinar, but it'll work.
It's not working. I think internet connection is not really good.
Yeah.
Well, but that's the idea right there. You leave that video, and not only does Mark Weiser will see your video, and a gazillion other people who wants to wish a guru's birthday. Out of that 1 in a million messages, you are the only video. And guess what? You stand out from the noise. And in this case, people would add you as a friend and want to get to know you because this is cutting edge. You're ahead of everybody.
Awesome. I love that strategy. You'll notice, guys, it's really simple strategies. But it's just doing things a little bit differently and standing out from the crowd. Okay, just trying to be a little bit unique, and that's really what you need to focus on, is just finding your unique message, your unique style, your unique strategy, whatever that is.
Cool. All right.
We're getting close to 60 minutes, and we got a few more things to cover here. So let's get on to the next thing if we can. I think.
All right, let's do it. Once your profiles are building up with friends, you also want to create a group. I'm not going to get into too in-depth into this. Man, if I can remember. Groups. The next key to brand yourself on Facebook and position yourself as an expert is to have your own group. Especially when you start building up your group, you have a follower. And when a new prospect sees you, and you have a follower, you are the expert. And this is also a great way to generate leads. I get almost half my Facebook leads come from the group. And your group members will also tell other people as you start giving enough value. It's another way to go viral. There's a few things I really like about group, and it's to tap over your whole entire group. There's a couple features here, message all members. And when you click on here, this is something you cannot do if you only have a profile. If you only have a profile, you can only send messages one by one. But if you have a group, hundreds of group members, once you click here and you send a message, your whole entire group is going to get that message. So this is really good if you promote an event or video you just shoot. And even capture pages, make sure you give value first, don't spam. And also affiliate offers. I've been successfully to promote affiliate offers through the group by giving upfront value. there's a really, really good training in the MLM System Pro back office if you're a member. It's under Gray Davison. I mean, this guy makes over 100K a month, and he does a really in-depth training, really, really good training on Facebook. So I'm not going to overlap this training here. Basically with the group features, on top of building relationship and generating leads, is another medium, another channel of distribution. So if you wrote an article, you have a video, you have a blog post, you can message all your members, and that way you get more views and you generate more circulation. Because lead generation, and especially getting prospects in your business, is not a one-dimensional process. It's a circulation process. The more time they see you, the more likely they're going to opt into your page, and they're more likely to join you as your business associate.
That's really the critical thing. And when you think about building a group, I mean, how many members do you have here in this group that you've put together here?
Fairly small, a little bit less than 700.
Less than 700. And I know that you haven't really been building it that actively. You've been focusing so much on pay-per-click. But if you were actually, spending a lot of time on Facebook, say you don't have a lot of budget, and this is going to be one of your main strategies, I mean, you could easily build these groups up to thousands of members. And this is really just as good, if not better in some ways, depending on how you treat this group. This can actually be better and more powerful than your email autoresponder list that you're building in Aweber or whatever autoresponder that you're using. So you can really look at this group as a way to build a list. And if you treat it right, and if you bring a lot of value to the group, to the table, and you get a lot of discussions going, and you get people active in your group, in the community, you'll actually find that it'll be more responsive than your autoresponder list. And what you can do, it's a great way to create a little money machine. I mean, yes, you will recruit some people from your group into your primary opportunity. But for instance, when something like Mike Dillard's Traffic Formula 2.0 comes out, what a great opportunity to make some marketing dollars, to make some money, and leverage all of the work that you've been putting into your group. Okay, so think of it really as another database, another prospect database for you, but just make sure you treat it with respect and provide value.
Well, by nature, social media is more responsive than your email, than if someone were checking email. Because majority of the public haven't caught up to it, blog and social media. Your prospects or people on Facebook, they're not into. It's just not about business. It's about connecting and friendship. And even blog is for catching up with updates and news. So selling that little alert that all your prospects have of trying to avoid being sold is not the first thing in their mind when they're on Facebook or on your blog. So they're a lot more receptive to listen to your message than if you were to email them through your list and try to sell them something. And there's many ways that you can get creative with getting your message out. Of course, affiliate commission, you can actually make a lot of money. With my group of hundreds, I have made thousands in affiliate. And this is all built through free Web 2.0 strategies that I don't even put too much time in. And on top of that, for sponsoring people in your business, remember on Facebook, don't pitch your business every single email, every single day, because it's not going to work. Basically, you're here to build a tribe, a following, and maybe once a month or every 2 months, you can throw a promotion into your business. I'm throwing this special. If you join my team, you can get this or something, some kind of bonuses, and that would work really well in sponsoring people.
Absolutely.
Cool. Did you want to get into events?
Yeah, is that everything you wanted to touch on for groups?
It is, besides event.
Yeah, at that point, I think so. Like Jim was saying, in the MLM Lead System Pro back office, we do have an extensive Facebook training that a friend of ours, Greg Davison, did for us a few months back, where he taught actually a few different strategies as well, and he talked a lot more about groups as well. So we recommend that you go back to that webinar, and because we don't want to repeat that information, it's going to take another 30 or 40 minutes. So go into that webinar and go check that out on groups. So basically what we've got so far is the basic action steps once you've got a Facebook account. Number one is friend adding. Okay, you're going to be adding friends, finding friends, and there's two ways to do that. You can find them using MLM company names, so you can actually find groups around different MLM companies. So maybe you'll find some Agile distributors or Mona V distributors or Shackley distributors, and you can find groups and you can add those people. Or you can use the different examples of, like, you know, The Secret or Robert Kiyosaki or Anthony Robbins, all those different types of groups. Okay, so that's the friend adding technique. That's the first thing that you're going to focus on. Then the second technique that we talked about was the relationship script, where you're actually adding friends from your other lead generation sources. So all the leads that you're generating into your sales funnel from other lead generation sources, you're going to add those people as a friend on Facebook, and this will allow you to deepen that bond and that relationship with those prospects. Then we talked about the video tag greeting strategies, okay, which are some neat little tricks to get a little bit more traffic and, again, deepen that bond and develop those relationships. Then the next most important thing is really to get a group set up. You know, once you're starting to build that network, like Jim said, is go ahead and create that group. Network with other groups, create your group, and I really do recommend that you watch that other Facebook webinar that we did a few months ago where Greg Davison really focuses on the groups, on the training about groups. So you'll want to review that webinar and get all that information. And then the next thing that we're going to talk about really quickly, two more things. The next thing is events, setting up events, okay? And maybe, Jim, if you want to just run them through this strategy. This is a great strategy to invite people. First of all, use our Wednesday webinar events, okay, because you can invite those people to those events. But if you create that event to invite people to these Wednesday webinars, do not give them the GoToMeeting registration link. Okay, do not give them the GoToMeeting registration link. You want to give them a link to your webinar capture page. All right, so you'll want to create a new sales funnel, a new campaign in your MLM Lead System Pro. Can you bring that up, actually, Jim, on your screen?
Yeah.
Show people. I don't even know if everyone on this line is going to be aware of that sales funnel. But if you go into your MLM Lead System Pro back office, and you'll look you create a new campaign, you can actually select a webinar capture page, all right? And you want to send people to that page. Just go under My Content.
Okay, hold up, 1 second.
You're going to need to log back in. Yeah, no problem. And just go under My Content and have a look at the sites there.
My sites? Or preview?
Yeah, My Site. Oh, you can do preview themes, yeah.
Oops.
Either one. Oh, no, you know what? You got to do preview themes.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so this is for the Wednesday webinars. But also, if you're holding your own webinars, if you start doing your own conference calls, your own webinars, it's a great place to invite people to those types of events, okay? But of course, if you're not doing that, you can go ahead and start inviting people to the Wednesday webinars. Just make sure you send them to your capture page, which is right there, the webinar invite, okay? It'll send them to this web page which says you're invited to join our free marketing training webinar this week. They put in their name and email address, and they get on your list, all right? And at that point, you can broadcast. Make sure you're sending out the broadcasts for the webinar invitations. They're going to get, once they put their name and email address on there, they're going to get the registration link, okay? So again, do not give them the registration link in your Facebook event or in your Facebook group or wherever. Make sure you send them to your capture page first so that they're on your list, they're in your sales funnel, and they're going to be tracked to you if they go ahead and purchase anything. Okay, really, really important. The other thing about events is you need to have a group to be able to do an event.
Hey Norbert,
That's correct. Yeah.
there's one point I want to point out before some people get kicked out on Facebook. On that video tagging that I talked about earlier, make sure you delete the old ones before you add the new ones. So, I mean, this is okay, but if you keep on doing this, your name's going to be in the thousands, in the hundreds and thousands. And what happens is that the ones that you just tagged, your new one's going to appear at the bottom, and your older one's going to appear at the top. So after like a week or so, then delete the old tags and continue doing a new one. So that way this doesn't get jam-packed.
Yeah, good tip. Thanks for adding
that. Make sure our members here don't get their Facebook account shut down.
Yeah, good stuff.
Okay.
All right, so that's event. Do you want to just show people where to create an event? Well, there it is right there. Once you're in your group, you can create a related event.
Just create events, and this is really good if you want to do a personal freeconferencecall.com. You can set up a free conference call line and just demonstrate, just basically be that leader that people are looking for. And Wednesday webinars are also great. Hey Norbert, do you want to cover that Twitter? Also.
Yeah, really quickly, let's talk about that. This will be the last thing we talk about is integrating Twitter into your Facebook. So this is something that I do personally, but I'm gonna warn people that this is not for everybody. Okay, so what you can do is you can actually integrate. There's a Twitter app that you can integrate into Facebook. All right, and all you need to do is go into your Facebook account and search for Twitter in the search bar. Just type in Twitter, and you'll see right at the top there Twitter application. Okay, there's 280,000 monthly active users. And what this does is, if you're using Twitter, it updates both things at the same time. So what I do is I go into my Twitter account, I update my Twitter account with a little update of what I'm up to, and it updates my Facebook account automatically at the same time. Okay, so it keeps both updated. Now, this is a great thing to do because you want to change your update quite frequently to show that you're active, and because you can update people with whatever thing you want to update people with. But there's a warning here, okay? If you're one of those people, if you've got a very active Twitter account and you're updating, like there's some people that update their Twitter account like every few minutes, like, you know, I'm going to the toilet, I'm going to grab a beer, you know, that kind of thing. Do not integrate that into Facebook, okay? Because people who are on Facebook, they're on Facebook. It's not Twitter. Facebook and Twitter are two different things, so don't use them as the same thing, okay? And you'll actually get people that will get really upset at you if they're getting all of your Twitter posts every 5 minutes, okay? So if you're one of those people that update your Twitter account every 5 or 10 minutes and even 30 minutes, okay, I would say do not link the two. Keep them separate. But if you're like me or you're like Jim and you update your Twitter maybe once a day or maybe 5 times a day or something like that, then by all means go ahead and do that, and it just kind of saves you time as well. Okay, so then you can integrate that Twitter app and you can update both at the same time. All right, so that's the last thing that I wanted to talk about.
And if you update it, it will say via Twitter right here, so you know that it's working.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, Jim,
Awesome.
I'm being corrected here that you don't have to have a group to create events.
Really?
Yeah, you don't have to have a group, apparently. There's an events tab that you should be able to find, and you should be able to create an event actually without having a group. But I would recommend that if you're going to be using Facebook as a marketing tool, you should create a group. That should be one of your strategies with Facebook if you're going to be seriously using it as a marketing strategy. You should have a group, and that way you can also promote your event to the group members. Okay, but apparently you can't create an event without having a group, so I was corrected on that. All right, Jim, I'm just looking at the questions here because those are really the strategies that we wanted to deal with today. And here's the thing, guys. There's lots of other things that you can do on Facebook. You can literally spend your entire day, every single day for weeks and months on Facebook. There's so many different strategies. You can buy courses for hundreds of dollars that'll teach you how to use Facebook to make money with your business. But what we wanted to do here today is really focus on the basics. We wanted to focus on just a few strategies that you could actually integrate into your marketing routine, okay? Because the thing is, you don't want to get overwhelmed. You don't want to have too many things that you're doing. Keep it simple, guys. Add friends, network, build connections, create a group, use events, do some of the strategies that Jim taught here today, but don't get too complicated with it. It's more important that you're consistent, that you have a good message, all right, that you have a powerful, unique selling proposition, that you stand out, and that you really take the time to build relationships, make connections, and provide value. That's much more important than learning all the little tips and tricks and ins and outs of Facebook, okay? You'll have a lot more success if you stick to those basic fundamentals. And then at that point, you can start delving into some of the deeper aspects of Facebook. But really, honestly, guys, this is all you need to know to generate a ton of leads with this website and go out there and make some money. I'm going to just post a couple of questions. Guys, that's going to be the bulk of the training part of this webinar. I think we're going to take just about 10 minutes to answer a few questions. So if you've got to run on this webinar, go ahead and jump off. We are recording the rest of this so you can catch the Q&A, but that is the majority of the marketing training that we're going to offer. And I'm just going to answer a few questions here that I'm seeing. First of all, Jim, how often do you chat? How often do you use the chat feature, and how important do you think that is in the overall strategy for building relationships?
Chat feature is good, but just don't take an hour or so out of your day to do it. I normally don't even chat with people unless they message me. Then I would reply if I have time. But otherwise, then just send them to basically just another strategy to build a relationship, but don't kill all your time into chatting.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of chatting on Facebook either. I've actually seen a couple of marketers that really teach chatting as a strategy. And if you want to be really proactive, if let's say you have a very small budget but you've got a lot of time, then by all means you can be a lot more proactive, a lot more aggressive, and actually go out there and initiate chats with people. And that can be a very powerful strategy if you're good at it. You need to understand how to do it properly, but you could go out there and initiate chats with people, start conversations, develop relationships, and if you have the time for that, that's great. But if you're kind of limited on time, I'd probably say stay away from that and focus on some of these other strategies that give you a little bit more leverage. Because remember, a chat is a one-on-one conversation, and we want to try to speak to as many people as possible at the same time. We always want to leverage our time, okay? So just be careful of that.
Just a quick point on chat feature. I used to do that back when I first started at nighttime when people messaged me, and about, I would say, 3 out of 5 people after I finished chatting, they would opt into my capture page. So it does work really well if you have the time.
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of conversation going on here about integrating Twitter and Facebook and integrating other social sites. Again, you got to really be careful with it. I definitely agree with some of the comments here that integrating Twitter and Facebook can become spammy. And again, it's what I mentioned. If you're updating your Twitter account every 10 or 15 minutes or so, those updates are all coming onto Facebook, and people don't like that. They don't want Facebook to be Twitter. Okay, so again, I recommend do not integrate the two. But if you're just doing an update here or there, then by all means it's fine. I know I keep it. I integrate the two, and nobody's ever said anything to me about it. But I only update my Twitter once or twice a day at the most. Okay. Also, you can do that. Thanks, Jeff, for the update there. You can do that on TweetDeck. If you don't know what that is, don't worry about it. But if you're using Twitter and you're using TweetDeck, you can actually select which messages, which updates go to Facebook. Okay, so you can have a little bit more control that way. There we go. Events are under application. Okay, events are under application, and you don't have to have a group to create events, but you are limited in the number of people that you can invite. Okay, so just be aware of that. Again, I would really recommend, if you're going to use this strategy, groups should be one of your main strategies when you're using Facebook. You should go out there, create a group. That should be one of the main things that you focus on. This is a question, this is a debate that could be had for probably a few hours here. Do you separate your business and your personal? Do you create a separate personal account for your friends and family, and do you create a separate account for your business? It's really a personal decision, that one. It depends how you're going to use your business account, or how you're going to use your account for business. I actually have just the one account. My Facebook account is my personal Facebook account. I've got my friends and my family on there, and I've got all my business contacts on there as well. For me personally, I don't use it so much as business. If I were to use it a lot for business, I would probably create a group, and you can also create pages. We're not going to get into pages right now, but something that you can do is create pages that are specific maybe to your business, or maybe to to some of the products or services that you offer. Okay, and maybe that's going to be another training that we do, is specifically on pages. So my personal recommendation is I would just have the one, because remember that you're using Facebook as a personal connection. Okay, and it's kind of cool when people connect with me on Facebook. They've seen my videos online, they connect with me on Facebook, and they can see the pictures of my kids and my wife and some of the places that I've been to. Okay, it makes that personal connection. It makes me a lot more real to them than just some stranger that wants to take their money on the internet. Okay, so I personally, I like the personal connection. I think that it can be really powerful, but again, it's your personal decision there that you got to make on that.
Exactly. Personal connects a little bit better, though.
Yeah. How effective is the inbox in Facebook? There's an actual email communication, the inbox that you'll see there at the top of the page, where people actually send you emails. How effective is that, and should I respond to all the emails from the inbox in Facebook? Yeah, this is one of the main forms of communication on Facebook, so I would say absolutely use it as often as you can. If you're just getting promotions and pitches, you can decide what to do with it. But what I would do, again, if you're using this as a strategy, if you have the time, I would respond to some of those promotions and pitches and thank the person for sending you the information and try to start up a conversation with them. Or, maybe say, hey, thanks for sending me that information. I'll see if I can attend that event. By the way, I'd love to get your feedback on this website, or whatever. You know what I mean? It's a great opportunity to send your website and then give them your information, or have a little signature file at the bottom that simply says Norbert Orlovich, marketing prodigy, www.make10kamonth.com, or whatever. Okay? So it's a great way to respond to people. Again, make a connection. And maybe you'll generate a conversation that way, and make a connection. I would say use it as effectively as you can. All right, I'm just going through the rest of these questions here, and yeah, you got to be careful. You got to be careful when you're adding friends. You don't want to add too many. You don't want to be too aggressive on Facebook. You really kind of have to learn. Be gentle with Facebook. Be gentle with these social networks. If you go out there and you're too aggressive and you're too spammy, you can get kicked off. So you got to be you got to be careful. You got to use them like a natural user, like a normal user of Facebook. Okay, so just go out there and go out there and make connections, and just be really careful about what you do, okay, and the way that you approach things.
Maximum 50 would be really max you want to do per day. If any more, then that's kind of suspicious.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think probably sticking somewhere around to 20 to 30 a day would be plenty. Honestly, that would be plenty, especially if you do that consistently. And then focus the rest of your time on actually making connections with those people and building out your groups as well. Okay? So this is a process, guys. Again, it's not a silver bullet. It's not a quick fix. This is a long-term strategy. You should be committed to this strategy for 6 to 12 months. Just like you should be committed to your business or to using our system or whatever marketing strategy you're focusing on. You know, I see this all the time. You know, so many marketers get out there, they try something for a few weeks, and then they give up. I mean, how many members do we have that join MLSP, put up their capture page, send 10 prospects through it, and say it doesn't work or quit, and go bounce around to some other system or some other opportunity? It's the worst thing that you can do. Pick one thing and focus on it for literally for 6 to 12 months. At least that should be your goal. That needs to be your focus. You need to work on your business. You need to commit to it for 6 to 12 months, whatever it is that you're focusing on. If I can give you guys one secret, one tip, one word of advice, that is it. You need focus and long-term consistency. It's not going to happen overnight. Yeah, absolutely. You want to use Facebook to send people to your blog. If you've got a blog that's working as your hub, as Kelly Bob here mentioned, you know, if you've got a blog that's your hub, that's sort of your nerve center of your entire business, which you guys should focus on doing at some point in your business. That's not something you need to start with. But if you have a blog, like Jim has a blog, you'll notice that is where he is sending people. Almost, you know, all the links, the main links on this Facebook site are sending people to his blog. And that's probably the most effective strategy that you can use. Okay?
It's basically called a hub, the hub system. And I know Mike Diller's going to cover it in Chocolate Formula too. Very, very effective.
Yeah. Yeah, and we'll talk a little bit more about, we'll have some more training on the whole hub concept as well, probably in a couple of weeks, because that is something that's really, really effective. You know, a little bit more advanced, a little bit more work, but it's absolutely very, very effective. All right, I think with that, I'm going to wrap it up. We've got a lot of people on this call, a lot of questions. If you do have some more questions, there's a few different ways you can get them answered. First of all, join our community. Take your $1 trial and join our MLSP community. We've got lots of support things in place to help get your questions answered. We've got a live 24/7 chat where you can chat with some of our members. There is a social networking site that you connect with other members and get a lot of your questions answered. We've got a 24/7 support center that will answer your support tickets. You can also send an email to mlspsales@gmail.com. Again, that's mlspsales@gmail.com if you have some questions about the community and about MLSP and about some of these marketing questions. But probably the best thing to do is to join the Skype group and get talking with some of the other members and network and get some of these questions answered, okay? Plus, you also want to check out the recorded training that we've got in our office. So my recommendation for you, you know, if you're a new marketer, if you're looking to connect with other marketers and learn these strategies, you need to tap into a community. If it's ours, great, fantastic. We'd love to have you part of our community. If it's not, go out there and find a community that you can connect with and network with and learn these strategies from, and have people that you can ask questions to, okay? That's what we're here for. Anyways, guys, I want to thank you here for joining us on tonight's webinar. I know you guys got a lot out of it with some of the comments that we're seeing. This webinar is recorded. It will be in the back office for all of our members. Again, if you're not a member, you can access it for $1 for 14 days and get access to all of our training, all of our webinars for $1. It's really kind of a smoking deal. So with that, Jim, first of all, I just want to thank you for coming out here and donating your time and sharing these valuable strategies with everybody. We really, really appreciate your time, Jim. Thanks so much.
This is awesome. Thank you for the opportunity to jump out in this community. Great team of marketers here.
You know what? This is one of the things that we really enjoy is seeing new marketers, develop their skills, have success, and then be able to give back. And Jim, how long have you been internet marketing for in this industry?
Since September, actually towards the middle or end of September of 2008. And before that, I have never had a single capture page.
So do the math there, guys. That's not a very long time of internet marketing. And here he is, Jim, making 5 figures a month. He's actually going to be running our pay-per-click campaigns. He actually runs my personal pay-per-click campaigns. And here he is teaching a webinar with over 1,000 people on this call here today. So that's pretty exciting. That's the kind of results that you can achieve as well in your business. You just need to focus on understanding how to provide value to other people and focus on some of these marketing strategies that we teach. Again, Jim, thank you so much for everything that you give to this community. I want to thank everyone for being on this call, and we will see you next week, next Wednesday, for our next weekly webinar. Everyone have a great night.